Susan Lee set to lay out broad immigration policy principles before Christmas, rather than commit to a fixed migration target, as she seeks to balance internal Conservative pressure, economic warnings and her own leadership instability. Now, I think it's madness not to have a number. You just heard Tony Passon. He thinks one should be out there by Christmas, and then give the next guest, Shadow Minister for Home Affairs, Jonathon Duniam, plenty of time to sell it. Well, Jonathon joins me now. I've got to ask you, you know this stuff. I know you're a warrior. I know that you have long argued for a reduction in immigration. I think the principles are pretty clear. I think the principles can be almost out the next day, but you've got to have a number, Jonathon, or you're just not credible.
Yeah, I can guarantee you now, Peter, we will have a number. Now, it may not be by Christmas, but bearing in mind the election is still after Christmas, nearly 2.5 years away, it will be well before the election, but it'll be a number that is founded on those principles we're talking about, those very basic things that this government has got so fundamentally wrong. They can't build houses to save their life. They haven't been able to properly manage health and education with the state and territory governments. Our infrastructure is woefully inadequate and Australians pay the price. So those basic inputs of data, how many houses, how many hospital beds, how many school places are going to be available to accommodate these people. And of course, on top of that, who do we want coming here? What are they bringing to this country? What skill set are they going to bring? Are they going to contribute to our economy, or will they be a drag on it? Those sorts of things all need to be a part of what we will announce by way of a policy moving forward. And as I say, I guarantee there will be a number as part of what we announce in this term, and it is one we will fight for because Australians want it. They're crying out for it, and we will give it to them.
100%. I'd said a bit earlier, you wouldn't have heard my comments, that, I'll let you off the hook by Christmas, but I tell you, come Easter, you have to have a number. Every single time I used to interview Dan Tehan and Peter Dutton about this, that say all the right things, like the principles are there. The principles are almost written into the Liberal Party platform. You don't need to think those up. They're there for you. But the number was so slow in coming. And then, of course, in the calamity of a campaign, when you've got 20 other things you're fighting on, it wasn't, in my view, sold enough. The fire was not put under Labor's feet, and Labor are bearing the responsibility for this. And also, I think, and you made the good point there, it's not just a debate about the quantity of migrants, it's about the quality of migrants. So I'm pleased to say you're not going to sort of squib debating who we are bringing and the sort of values they're coming with.
No, who we bring into this country fundamentally can change the fabric of our nation. And we want to keep this country great. It's why these migrants come to Australia, because they want to be a part of this amazing nation and take advantage of what it has to offer. Well, if people want the country to continue to be the country that it was when they got here, we've got to make sure that the people we're bringing in share our values, uphold the rule of law, respect our democracy and the freedoms that come with it, respect others' religions, etc. But every day between now and the next election, as we announce our policy, the number, all of those things, we are going to hammer how wrong Labor has got this. I mean, these basic questions we will be taking Australians on the journey with us on, in asking about, how many houses are there in Sydney that we can house these people in as they come into our country? How is the New South Wales or the Victorian public health system coping if these people get sick? Can we look after them? We are going to do this in a very transparent way, in a way your viewers and people right across the country are going to be able to understand. And by the time the election comes around, that number we put out there will be entirely defensible. People will understand and they'll have come with us on the journey. And I reckon we'll have won this debate very, very strongly.
And I think what's really important, Jono, it's not just the focus on the permanent migration number, because that's usually relatively low. It's the NOM, the net overseas migration number. How many people are here, less those that have left Australia. And if you're here for 12 months, you need somewhere to stay, you need a way to get around, you need a job. And that's where the pressure is, not so much on the permanent migration basis, but on the NOM. So that means you've got to really pick a fight with the university sector. And you've got to explain this to Australians. And I remember when I worked in this portfolio in the Howard era, I tell you, the biggest supporters of John Howard's tough stand on immigration were fellow migrants who, A, came the right way, and as you say, came to this country because they wanted to share this country's values. And the people that did not, that came after them or speculation that they might come, they were incredibly tough and supported him in taking a stand. So I think you've got to take the fight up to Labor, and like net zero, this could win you the election.
I totally agree. And this fear that we might offside migrant communities by being strong on this issue is wrong. You just made the point, and I know well because I'm married to an immigrant, a political refugee no less. They want integrity in the system. They want it to work for all the reasons we've already discussed. And you are quite right. There are those short-term residents of our country who, of course, are here under that net overseas migration number. But also we've got that element of people who overstay, people who have come to the end of their visa, are seeking to apply, are rejected, and then find themselves in the court system. We've got to have a better way of dealing with them as well. That is a big drain on our system, and of course 2,000 every month, I'm told, being added to that list of people. That's got to be clamped down on, and you can be guaranteed we'll be dealing with that as well.
Just quickly, your old portfolio environment, I'll tell you what, if Adelaide does not host COP, that's a win for the Prime Minister. If it does, that's a gift for you. Yeah,
it is. I cannot believe that they are still sort of tinkering around and trying to pitch in for this hosting this summit. I mean, frankly, $2 billion that we don't have, it is nuts. We could be spending all that so many other ways, health, education, housing. Instead, they want to...
Well, look at what I've got to leave it here, but look what the Premiers are doing. They're clamouring. The Premiers are clamouring for hospital funding. There's $2 billion in the kick that could go there straight away. Thank you.